Hi there, it's Luke here from Weekend Tour Pros, and in today's video we are reviewing these. It's the Mizuno JPX 923 hot metal irons. Now, I'm absolutely buzzing to be reviewing these irons because it's the first time since I started the channel that I've got my hands on a brand new golf club that's just been released. So really keen to see how they perform. So let's get down to the fitting bay and give them a hit. Okay, so just got down to the fitting bay and got the iron in my hand for the first time. First impressions, it's a good looking golf club. It's got this satin face to it, which I'll show you on the screen now. It's then satin on the bottom and then transitions into kind of a shiny metal, some cool JPX Mizuno hot metal logos on the back. Typical game improvement sort of thick top line that I've now realised inspires a lot of confidence. The head shape is a slightly longer head shape than some of the more players irons, but again inspires confidence that you're going to make contact with the ball. It is a little bit thick at the back, again sent CG low and pulled back. With the 7-iron you can't see that when the ball's at so when the club's at address, but I imagine if you go up to those longer clubs you would start to see something sticking out the back. But again, I don't think that's a bad thing in who these clubs are targeting. You want that confidence inspiring looks. Now let me just tell you a little bit more about the JPX 923 hot metal range from Mizuno. There are 3 iron heads in this shape. There are the Pro head, which is targeting kind of lower handicap golfers. You've then got the standard hot metal, which is what we're testing today, and you then do have the hot metal high launch. Now it's the same head but in weaker lofts, and again I think that's designed to help people get the ball in the air. So the 7-iron, for example, here is 28.5. It goes to about 31.5 in the high launch model. But I'm going to test this one because it's kind of targeting people like me and upwards in terms of handicap. I've really enjoyed hitting those type of golf clubs recently, and I've never ever hit a Mizuno iron because they don't make all of their clubs in lefty. So I'm really excited to see if it's really true what people say, that nothing feels like a Mizuno. All those pros who aren't in contracts tend to go to Mizuno irons. Let's see what they're like in the handicap golfer's hands. So let's hit some shots, see how it feels, see how it performs. One of the things Mizuno do talk about this iron is it's their fastest flying and fastest stopping iron. So keen to see if we get some really good distance out of it compared to my Titleist T200, and also keen to see if we get some good peak heights, some strong descent angles, and maintain that spin so we've got some stopping power. So that's what I'll be looking for as we go into the test. Let's hit some shots. Wow, first impressions, it's high, definitely compared to my Titleist T200. Peak height seems strong, not sure on the distance. Let's have a little look at what we've got. 149 yards first out the bat, which is about a yard shorter than what I've been hitting tonight with my Titleist T200. Spin is at 5,040 and the launch angle at 20 and the land angle at 45. So everything else really good. The carry number is just a fraction lower than what I was hitting my own club tonight, but really good, strong first performer. Keen just to see what that peak height is on this as well. Peak height of 81 feet. So again, really good peak height like that. Oh, another beautiful shot. It does feel lovely off the face. Really nice. Again, probably a very comparable golf shot to the last one. 153 yards, so again, just past the distance I was hitting my own irons. Spinning at 5,152, very consistent with the last shot. Launching at 19.5. Land angle again, 45.2, so very consistent with that land angle 2 shots in a row. A great start in terms of consistency and feel. Really like it. That's a much better strike again, much like the first couple. Flew off the face nicely, quite straight again, very happy with that one. 155.9, so yeah, again, slightly longer again than what I'm getting my own club. 5419 on the spin, land angle 43.8, launching at 17.4. So really good consistent numbers there in terms of spin, land angle and carry when I'm striking it, so really good start. Let's hit a few more. I do like it. Yeah, another good strike. See what the distance is on that one. 150.7, spinning at 5,438, very consistent again. Launching a little bit lower, 16.6, and landing at 41.5, so peak height there of just under 70 feet. Just tugged that a little bit to the right, but again it's flown really nice. Yeah, carry 155, spinning at 5,033, launching at 16.7, land angle 41.7. Again, just pulled that down the right, would expect the distance to be up again, just based on what I've done with the direction. 153 yards again, span a little bit less that time, 4,864, launching at 16. Land angle again a little bit lower, so it feels like I've just seemed to be not hitting this as high. I appreciate that was a pull, so that's probably likely on the pull. Again, big tug to the right, unfortunately, just seems to be the shot shape of the day, which is probably adding a little bit of yardage. Wow, that one, yeah, geez. 165 yards, wow. So I've probably buttoned that one, plus the pull. Spin has dropped down though, 4,500, that is quite low. Launch angle at 16.2, land angle at 41.2. So again, both low. It is a pull, so we've got to take that into consideration. Probably the best one I've hit since the beginning actually, that one. I really like that ball flight. I've managed to hit it a little bit down the left, not pulled it. Be keen to see what the numbers show there. Again, 148.5, spinning at 5,666, peak height 72.7, launching at 17.4, and land angle at 42.9. An absolutely glorious iron shot, and it felt lovely and it looked lovely, and it's gone 155.9 yards. Again, the spin a little bit low at 4,931, but the peak height jumped up to 81.8. The launch angle was up at 19.1, and we've got that land angle back up to 44. So that is exactly what I was hoped to see. Albeit, I would like a little bit more spin out of it. And again, another really good shot. Be interested to see the number. I think the carry's gonna be a little bit lower, 151.7. Spins jumped up a little bit there, 5,200. Launch at 17.9, land at 42.9, and a peak height of 74.8 feet. Slight pull again, but a really good strike. It does feel lovely. Again, I need to check all of the numbers when I get home, but in terms of carry distance, I'm definitely getting a little bit more out of it. That one there has just gone 156.4, peak height 72.5, spinning at 4,439. That is again a little bit low, and that launch angle 17.5, land angle 41. I've hit enough shots, but I'm enjoying hitting it, which is a good sign. So I'm going to hit one more. Yeah, it's a good one to finish on. I've probably not struck it perfectly, but it's quite straight. Be interesting to see what's happened there, because it wasn't perfect in terms of strike. Carry number a little bit down, 146.7, but the spin was 5.1 there, launching at 17.7, land angle 41.3. Okay, so my summary in the bay, I'm done hitting shots with it now. I've hit probably a dozen or so shots that we've got as a comparison. My feelings in the bay are, love the looks, love the sounds, love the feel. You know, nothing feels like a Mizuno. It does feel great, I must admit that, and it does look great. You know, the chunkier top line compared to my own club, what you see in these game improvement irons, it really inspires confidence. This does exactly that. I do really like the iron. The bit that I've probably set myself up to fail is all of the blurb that Mizuno give you with these irons, plus what I'd heard about people that play Mizuno. I was probably just expecting to get slightly better performance out of it than my own current club, and I think I have at the top end, but it's probably not as forgiving as I was hoping for a game improvement iron, which means there's actually quite a lot of shots that feel like they're very comparable to shots that I hit with my own club, and hopefully I'll be able to get the data sets up side by side when we get home, compare that, and hopefully validate that feel with some real data. But overall, leaving the bay, really impressed by this club. Probably just set myself up to fail, expecting a little bit more. But let's go home, let's look at the data, compare the two side by side, and see if that changes actually when I can really dive into the numbers, which I'm not able to do while I'm in the bay. So just got home and had a chance to look at the data sets, and I'm going to start by comparing the shots I hit with the Mizuno JPX 923 to the batch of shots I hit with my own Titleist T200 shortly before I started filming. And actually what you can see is the feel I was having in the bay, that the two clubs were really comparable, is shown right here in the data. Really similar ball speeds, really similar carry numbers, really similar spin rates, with the Mizuno actually outperforming against my Titleist T200, which was something I maybe didn't feel in the bay, but it is there. And the launch angle and the peak heights The Mizuno is fractionally lower on both of them, but let's remember the Mizuno is a slightly stronger lofted club, and the difference in that launch angle is really similar to the difference between the static loft of the two 7-irons. The peak height also a little bit down, but that stopping power, that land angle into the green is really similar with both, plus that slight bit of extra spin gives me the confidence that the Mizuno would hold the green just as much as my own Titleist T200 would. Now, one thing I did say was that I've tested a lot of game improvement irons recently, and I didn't think the Mizuno maybe at the top end was competing with some of those irons, but I just wanted to show you this because I actually looked at that data as well. On here you can see 6 different clubs that I've hit recently for reviews for the channel. You've got the Mizuno right at the top, you've then got the Callaway Apex DCB, the Ping G425, the Callaway Rogue Max ST, TaylorMade Stealth and the TaylorMade P790. And if you just look at some of those key numbers like the carry number, the spin rates, the launch angles, peak heights, land angles, actually the JPX 923 is a really strong performer and has performed incredibly well across all of the areas that would matter to me. Those peak heights are good, those land angles are good, the distance is good, the spin rate is good. So overall, the more I look at the data, the more I love this iron. It's a really good performing golf iron. As always, just like to show you the dispersion. You can see I wasn't hitting it brilliantly on the day, a couple of pulls in there. Obviously that does add to a little bit of distance, as you can see on the far right hand side. And the strike location, look how impressive this is. You've got the JPX 923 on the left hand side, my Titleist T200 on the right, but look how bright and red and consistent that strike location is with the Mizuno. Absolutely gobsmacked by that. I don't think I've ever had strike location so consistent. So I don't know if that's me, I don't know if it's the iron, but you can certainly see with my own Titleist T200, I was a little bit more all over the face with the batch of shots I hit. What a performance. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of the video now, and I just want to say this is exactly why I do 2 parts to these reviews when I'm reviewing the golf clubs. The first part is me in the fitting bay giving you my immediate feedback, my thoughts, my feelings on the look of the club, how it feels, and giving you some of the immediate numbers that I'm seeing from TrackMan on the iPad down there in front of me. But then we come home and we can objectively take the emotion out of the equation and look at data sets side by side, what I was doing with my own club on the same day, and also some historical club reviews that I've done for this channel, and seeing how that Mizuno club performs against the other irons that I reviewed recently. And what we can see from those conclusions is that the Mizuno JPX 923 hot metal iron is a fantastic golf iron and a really strong performer across the board. For me, I absolutely love it. It grew on me. I probably did have my pedestal a little bit too high at the beginning, but actually the iron has performed really well, and I would definitely have it on my test list if I was out looking for new irons at the moment. Right, all that remains for me to say is thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you to everyone that's liked videos, subscribed to the channel. If you've watched this one and want to like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it too. I appreciate all the kind comments I'm getting as well. It's really inspiring me to keep going and keep growing this channel. So thanks very much for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.